Good evening, my fellow Mighty Omegians. My name is Icyfet, and I will be going over the official Mighty Omega Iceberg. Yes, you heard that right. I'm going to be going over all the cool little nitty-gritty and interesting information that makes Mighty Omega one of, if not the best Kengan fighting game on Roblox right now. So we're going to be going over a lot of information. This video is going to be quite a hefty one, so grab some snacks, get your Oreos, get whatever you'd like to eat, because we're going to be here for a good hot minute. I don't want to waste any more of your time, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, let's start with the tip of the iceberg. Starting off, we have the Mighty Omega Info Discord server. The Mighty Omega Info Discord server is a really good, useful server that players use to get a lot of information concerning the game of Mighty Omega. The server provides really good information about training, styles, clans, and a large array of other things that can be really useful to someone starting off. What I really like about this Discord server is that the information they show is really well organized and accessible for anyone to use. Huge shout out to the creators of this Discord server, because without that Discord server, I don't think this video would have been possible. National Police Agency of Nazara. This is basically an organization of the cops of Mighty Omega. These are the guys that find the wrongdoers and place them in jail. Now, you may see them walking around the streets of Nazara. They're usually wearing this blue uniform, and if they find you while you have a criminal tag, they can knock you and jail you. And depending on how much karma you have, you could be in jail for pretty long times. Rainhold Hype Boost. If you are lucky enough to attain the clan Rainhold, you actually get a nice little small hype boost, which is actually permanent. So even if you roll off of Rainhold and switch to a different clan, you will still keep that height that you gained, which is pretty cool. Currently, as of the recording of this video, there's only 4 ways you can actually manipulate your height in Mighty Omega. One is to get Rainhold, as I just mentioned. Second is to get Yolotol, which gives you a really large height boost as long as you keep the clan. Thirdly is to be in a server with a developer or mod. They can manipulate your height a little bit, make you short, clown around a little bit, but this I'm pretty sure only lasts in the server. And fourthly is to used to be able to watch the streams of Yolotol, who is a developer for the game. He used to host these streams that if you watched, you could gain little credits that you could turn in for height rerolls and height boosts, etc. Organizations. Organizations are basically the groups, the gangs of Mighty Omega, the ones that run around causing havoc and, in my opinion, make the game really exciting at times. The most prevalent orgs in the game as of right now is Noxus, Jigoku Tenbatsu, Saga, Sancti Day, Native, and many other clans out there that I didn't mention. If you get into the game of Mighty Omega, who knows, you might make the next big organization and run these streets. Sign Fighters. Sign Fighters are basically fighters in the city of Nazara who have gotten so strong that they've actually been hired by CEOs to fight for them against other CEOs for assets. These fighters fight in matches known as Kengan matches, and who knows, maybe one day through the streets you'll be lucky enough to run into one. These matches have the top fighters and at times can be quite a spectacle to watch. Trial of 100/200. The Trial of 100 is basically an arena where you can go to fight NPCs and climb your ranks as you keep going up to fight stronger and stronger NPCs. The Trial of 100 is a great way to earn rewards such as cash, MC, titles, and at higher levels, around the 200 levels, you can even earn special skills and aptitudes that can help you train faster. Injuries. Injuries can be attained through fighting too much or from certain skills being used upon you. Injuries basically are, as they say, injuries that make it harder for you to fight. It is known that they give a debuff, however the exact debuff is unknown. Some sneaks have been shown in the Mighty Omega Discord server of more serious injuries which force players to use crutches and wheelchairs, but as of now this feature hasn't been added yet, but it would be really cool to see in the future. Yujiro Hanma. Also known as the strongest creature, Yujiro is a player who has garnered quite a name for himself, being a very famous macro ganker in the city of Nazara. Yujiro can oftentimes be spotted around the gym looking for his next potential victim to macro gank. So if you plan on training, watch out. Alan Merks. Alan Merks is an ominous NPC that can be found at the bookstore wearing a ski mask and a hoodie. Although he looks a little mysterious and a bit spooky, he has been known to give players free MC, style resets, title resets, and much more. So he's actually kind of a cool guy. Next up, we have books. Books can be found in the bookstore, which can be bought by players for $50 per book. These books, although they may appear useless at first, can actually be a cool way to learn a little bit about the lore of Mighty Omega and get a little insight about the top fighters at the time, or just who to watch out for. Alright, moving on to Beneath the Surface. This is knowledge known by most intermediate to advanced level players, however many newer players might not know about. Blacklisting. Although extremely rare, CEOs of companies are able to blacklist specific players if they wish it so. This can make it so that those specific players have to pay way higher prices for items from that store. Wu. Wu is a spec clan given to some individuals in the world of Mighty Omega. The clan is basically an improved and superior curia that has better proficiencies and a stronger removal. Sasagawa. Many players may believe that Sasagawa is a low tier or bad clan. However, certain Sasagawas have been given special abilities such as Fujin Dash, which is an ability which allows the user to travel at incredible speeds, appearing almost as if they are teleporting. It's basically a spec given to certain Sasagawa people. Street Fighters. The most recent Mighty Omega event prior to the return of Berserk was the Street Fighter event. This event entailed having random fighters appear around the city of Nazara from the fighting game franchise Street Fighter. Each of the fighters taught the player unique skills if they were able to defeat them. Some of the most notable fighters were Ryu, who gave Hadouken, Ken, who gave his Rising Uppercut, and Akuma, who gave an extremely rare mode known as the Satsui no Hado. Old removal. Prior to a recent update, Courier's removal wasn't trained by sparring the trainer. It used to be trained by achieving high elo and ranked. Each win would slightly increase the player's removal percentage, and each win would place the fighter on day-long cooldowns, making it extremely tedious to level removal. Ranked. Not too long ago, Mighty Omega used to feature a really well-made ranked mode in which players could queue up against one another to duke it out. Winners would get rewards such as MC, cash, and even style stances. Unfortunately, ranked mode is currently being revamped and is currently unplayable. However, sneaks of 2v2s and 3v3s have been given to us in the Mighty Omega Discord server that look really cool and awesome. Honestly, this is one of those features that I can't wait to have back. PS Arena. If you join a PS and go to the back of said PS, you will find an extremely large stage that looks really cool and you can climb up to. The stage looks really cool, yet not many people use it for some reason. Purgatory. Purgatory is a popular Mighty Omega Discord where official tournaments are held for players to earn large rewards. The tournaments are very well organized and provide players with many opportunities to climb the ranks and create a name for themselves. Capes. Capes are cool accessories that are placed on one's back that can be acquired through two methods. 1. Win multiple Purgatory tournaments and cash out your Purgatory coins for a cape. Or 2. Become a high-ranking officer in the National Police Agency of Nazara. Berserk. Berserk is the event that has recently returned to Mighty Omega for Halloween. Search around the city of Nazara for a Behelit necklace, which allows you to travel to Zod's arena and fight it out with him. Beating Zod will grant the player cash, MC, and best of all, a very strong mode known as Berserk. CEO rooms. All CEOs have their own private rooms in which they can rest in safely. However, be careful as only the respective CEOs are allowed to go in. Glitching in can result in a temporary ban. The sewers. The sewers or subway are an area of tunnels underneath the city of Nazara. The entrance to the sewers can be found near Curie Gym. Going down in the sewers, player can find a lot of cool things such as TVs, posters, and cool little Easter eggs. Bobsled Stadium. In the city of Nazara, every hour or so, an announcement will be highlighted above the mighty GUI, announcing that a tournament at the Bobsled Stadium is occurring. Players in the server can attend the tournament, and whoever is victorious will receive a decent sum of cash. Sadly, many people are rarely seen even using this feature. Weekend Boost. Every Friday from 8 p.m. to Sunday 8 p.m., a boost is activated in new Mighty Omega servers, which grants all players a 1.5 times Dura training boost and double the money received from accomplishing jobs. Titles. Players can achieve pre-made titles from the Trials of 100. However, players were also able to obtain custom titles through reaching 450 elo in ranked, which is, again, sadly currently disabled. Now, moving on to the middle of the iceberg. This is info which may not be known to some intermediate level players. Khan. Khan is another extremely rare spec clan given to only certain players. The clan is based on the Kengan Ashura character Kuroki Gensai. The clan has great proficiencies coupled with the best muscle density in the game. The purest or original Khan is Reap Siro. Being the original, he has access to a spec form named Khan Rage that honestly looks so drippy I just might drown. Advance. Advance is a mode from the Kengan Ashura anime which can be learned by all. The form has been only shown so far in sneak peeks, but it might be added later on into the game. Main character. Main character is an extremely rare aptitude that I haven't seen a lot of, and honestly I'm not sure if even is real. But a video was made on it with someone showcasing the aptitude. When the player types in chat, "I refuse to lose" in all caps, they are granted a speed boost, a defense boost, and their rhythm stays at 100% for 8 seconds. Pretty cool aptitude if it's real. OP Mikas. A while back when Mikas were first given Vanishing Combo, the skill used to be a combo extender, meaning that players could use 4 M1s, Vanishing Combo, and then another 4 M1s. At the time, Mikas were incredibly strong and practically ran Mighty Omega for a few weeks, until the skill was eventually nerfed and made a bit more balanced. Nonetheless, Mikas are still a formidable clan. Edward Wu. Edward Wu was somewhat of a lore character in the world of Mighty Omega. Having the previously mentioned spec clan Wu, he was a strong muscle build that enjoyed causing some havoc every now and then. His character was based on the Kengan Omega manga character, Edward Wu. I don't know exactly what happened to Edward Wu, however nowadays he just doesn't seem to be seen around. Ruya. The Ruya style was a spec utilized by a developer who created and mastered the style named Kid Kure. The style used to be unique to him until he eventually held a tournament and went on to teach the style to the winner. The style looks really cool and seems to take inspiration from boxing. Also, cool little fun fact, Ruya is Arabic for vision. Really cool stuff. Hanma. Hanma is another spec clan which I suppose gives good proficiencies and good muscle density. However, I was unable to get a hold of the exact proficiencies. Hanma is based on Yujiro Hanma and Baki Hanma from the popular anime series Baki. The original or purest Hanma is Dim Hanma. Demon Fist. Speaking of Hanma, Demon Fist is a spec style which used to be only accessible to members of the Hanma family. However, as of recently, it seems that the style has been taught to outsiders as well, such as Lo La Muerte On. Fujin. Fujin is another spec style which was originally used by members of the Sasagawa clan. The purest member of the Fujin style is Mr. Aokichi. Although originally meant for the Sasagawa clan members, the style has been taught to outside members as well. Pigeon. If players head on over to the bakery near the hospital, they can find a friendly pigeon awaiting to take their orders. I believe the pigeon is supposed to be Pompo, the owner of the fine bakery. It's nice to see that a CEO is handling business and greeting outsiders himself. Worm. Worm used to be a very notorious organization that had extremely strong members, and many of them were signed fighters. If you saw Worm starting to pull up, you knew it was serious. The Log. Many players may know that at construction site, they can pick up logs and take them to a certain area for a small sum of cash. Before, there was a bug going on which made people get banned for carrying the log. Scary stuff. Rome. Rome is another infamous organization that used to be seen throughout the city of Nazara. Unlike most guilds, they take a liking to Roman drip and fashion. Some Rome members can sometimes be seen, although it's rare. I guess you can say they became ancient. See what I did there? Cause like ancient Rome. Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Clan luck. Many players believe that if you are rolling your clan, your chances of getting a good clan increase if you get low health or are knocked while you spin. This honestly most likely isn't true and doesn't work. However, it's a nice little rumor that has been spread around, and some players may actually believe it. Going deeper, we now have the bottom of the iceberg. These things may not even be known by advanced and high level players. Worm tattoo. Certain members of the Worm organization were given a cool little tattoo which basically gave them a free buff when fighting. The tattoo is based off of something from the Kengan Omega manga which some Worm members had. Dim Hanma. Dim Hanma was a lore character who was meant to basically be the Yujiro Hanma of Mighty Omega. He was the original and first Hanma, however unfortunately he lived in an odd region and therefore over time has stopped playing. Formless. Formless is a spec style which the least is known about. It was originally mastered and used by the developer / owner of Mighty Omega himself, Joe Owen. The style is based upon the character Kano Agito from Kengan Ashura. What little we do know about the style is that the style, unlike most styles, can be turned on and off, and when turned on, the user gains a unique face which usually looks kinda creepy. The style is many styles compiled in one. It's sporadic, unusual, random, unpredictable, taking M1s from a pool of different styles, hence the name Formless. The only other person who has managed to learn this style is Blast Own. Shoulder Throw. Shoulder Throw was a skill put in the game which could be attained by defeating Tokira Oma in the Trials of 200. This skill was then suddenly removed. However, a few lucky players who managed to grab the skill before it was removed still have the skill, making it an incredibly rare skill which probably will be added back. Hydra. Hydra was an extremely famous organization back in the older days of Mighty, when people really started honing in their styles and picking up mechanics of the game. If I am not mistaken, the creator of Hydra was Kid Kyrie. Sadly, the group isn't seen much anymore. Perhaps they are hiding, waiting for something new. Who knows? Unreleased content. If you go deep into the Mighty Omega's Discord sneak peeks channel, you can find multiple skills, modes, and concepts that were shown, which have yet to be added to the game. One I would really like to mention is Jiu-Jitsu, a grappling style which looks incredibly cool. Personally, I would love to see Jiu-Jitsu added to the game. I know the amazing names would make it interesting, and it really could be something that shakes up the meta. Purple Hadouken. The Purple Hadouken is an extremely rare sight to be seen nowadays in Mighty Omega. If one was able to attain the Satsui no Hado and Surging Fist skill during the Street Fighter event, they are able to create a very rare interaction. If you use Surging Fist while having the mode popped, you will get a Purple Hadouken as opposed to a blue one. Cool little detail if you ask me. Nico style. Nico style is a style that is already in the game. Nobody has this style except an NPC in the Trial of 1, and that NPC being Tokira Oma. In the Trial of 200, he can be seen using odd skills that are probably a part of the style. Hopefully this style is added in the future of the game. Zero Beam. There is a special NPC that you may encounter randomly around the streets of Nazura named Sam. Interestingly, Sam utilizes Fujin style and on rare occasion may fire a Zero Beam that does extremely large amounts of damage. The skill is most likely based off of the Settle shot by Coyote Stark from the anime Bleach. Alright, now going even further below, under the iceberg, we have the depths. This is information that players will only know about if they either played in the extremely older days of Mighty or have met devs. Assassination. Way long ago at the Homer bar located near the gym and bookstore, one was able to speak to the bartender and receive a quest to go teach somebody a lesson. The quest awarded the player if they managed to find the player and kill them. They received more money based upon the player's karma. The Allah lair. Not much is known about this secret lair, all we really have is a picture. In the picture, we can clearly see that it looks based off of Kami's Lookout from the Dragon Ball Z anime.
Whoa, slow down there, buddy. This is Future Icy. While editing this video, I just realized that this is not Kami's Lookout. As I said, this is actually the hyperbolic time chamber. So yeah, that's a mistake on my part. On with the video.
You can see that it has training paths, which means it might be being used by someone to train there safely. Die 1,000 Deaths, also referred to as Raging Demon, is a spec which allows the user to basically do large amounts of damage as the user continuously pummels their opponent. The skill has been seen being used by Shin Yamaguchi at the gym. The skill is also most likely based off of the ultimate skill of the Street Fighter character Akuma. Boogie Woogie. Boogie Woogie is another spec skill which was seen being used by Osama Khan. The skin allows the user to select a besto friendo and switch places with them simultaneously whenever they clap. The spec is most likely based on the Boogie Woogie from the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, seen being used by Aoi Todo. Old Hydra base. Supposedly, in the older days of Mighty Omega, Hydra used to have a base behind wrestling. The base seemed to be a meeting place for Hydra members to gather. Demon Slayer. There is a race spec in the game that allows the player to become a demon, similar to the ones from Demon Slayer anime. The spec was actually quite overpowered as it gave the demon extremely powerful regeneration abilities. Their only weakness was the sun, which would do large amounts of damage to them. Zawordo. The world is a spec that was seen being used by John or Joe Owen, the owner/developer of the game. The world is a stand that grants John the ability to stop time, throw knives, and even barrage his opponents. The spec is most likely based off of the world, a stand in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Haki. Street Chess has been seen using a spec that allowed him to effortlessly make everyone around him get knocked just from his sheer spiritual pressure. This is most likely based off of Conqueror's Haki from the One Piece anime. Old Arena. The Old Arena was an incredibly old arena which was used to hold the first official tournaments of the game. The arena was for some the first footage they had ever seen of the game Mighty Omega. The arena itself was yellow and looked pretty big and glamorous. In my opinion, the arena was really nice and I would love to see it make a return in some shape or form. Alright, and that will conclude the Mighty Omega Iceberg. I appreciate anyone that stayed here all the way until the end watching this video, and I hope you Mighty Omegians have a wonderful rest of your day.